Good morning. Welcome to Simply Remarkable. Are you ready to be inspired and see God's hope all around you? Let's go. Greetings to our live audience coming to us from LinkedIn, X, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We look forward to this weekly conversation so that you can meet and get to know personally, as we do, our featured guests. We want you to join in the conversation. The chat line is open. We'd love to hear from you. Now, today, I am so excited to share that we have featured guest speakers today with us live, SQuire Rushnell, the beloved Godwink guy, and he's a New York Times bestselling author, Emmy Award-winning producer, and former ABC network executive who now serves as executive producer for the popular Hallmark Channel and Netflix productions. Woo, that's a long one. Joining him today is his incredibly talented wife, Louise DuArt. Now, she is one of the world's finest comedian impressionists who captivated audiences for 15 seasons alongside Tim Conway and Harvey Gorman. I remember watching every episode. Known for her lightning-fast transformations into everyone from Bart Simpson to Judge Judy, she also serves as executive producer on the Hallmark Godwinks movie series. Together, this dynamic duo is amazing. They have co-authored inspiring books, and they bring a unique blend of humor, heart, and hope through their speaking. And I love their latest book, Godwinks for Moms. That's one of my favorites. So welcome, SQuire and Louise. I know you travel a lot. So where are you coming to us from today?
Good morning, Sue.
Good
We're
morning.
here
On Martha's Vineyard.
What a place. What a place.
Yeah.
We actually live here.
Yeah.
And my family goes back 4 generations on the island. So it's not that we just decided we were going to go to this hotsy-totsy island and get ourselves a little house. It's like, my family actually lives here. So yeah, we love it. And we love the summer. We love all the vacationers coming, and it's just a fun place.
And we
to
love
be.
the dead of winter because we just
It's
put
on my
another
bucket
log
list.
on the fire
Yeah.
and
yeah.
write another
book.
That's it. You never know what comes out. That's great. That's great. Hope to see you soon. I'd love to do that. Now, this time goes by so fast. I mean, it just does. So let's just jump in and get started. Now, tell us, SQuire and Louise, how did your careers in network television prepare you both for this unexpected chapter of inspiring others in the faith-based entertainment space? How did that all happen for you? Start out, SQuire.
Well, I was in charge of Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, Schoolhouse Rock, and a few programs like that. Wouldn't that prepare me for everything that followed?
Oh, yeah.
Of course it did. Because you know why? I decided very soon when I was in charge of children's television that little people, about 3 feet tall, have minds and decisions, and they make choices just like the rest of us. They just sometimes make them much faster. Bing, 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 bing. And so, and they also have kind of they travel like a flock of sparrows. You ever watch those sparrows? They all go, vroom, vroom. And somehow or other you put the word out to kids and they just get in the flock and they go. And so there were a lot of things about trying to reach that audience and to keep that audience and entertain that audience that I kept in mind when I went on to do Good Morning America, and we started writing stories for books and making movies, and those things are very, very important points. For example, Schoolhouse Rock, which I did, which I was one of the fathers of, was 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. Now, that taught me that being short and pithy and compelling and with interesting characters and music, that if you package things together that are meaningful, they can last a long time. And Schoolhouse Rock is now 50 years old. And just about anybody that you run into on the street can sing a couple of those songs.
Exactly. And Louise, how did it feel to come from comedy with the best, and you are the best, into a faith-based entertainment space?
Well, my heart was always open for something bigger in my life. And when I accepted Christ in my life, it changed completely. And I knew that no matter what I did from that day forward, I would want to put him first, whether it be in the entertainment field, whether it be in writing books or doing movies. I wanted so much to have him to be the light that people would look towards. So when SQuire and I got together and we realized we both had this faith, we said, what can we do with this? Because of SQuire's background, making things, like you said, pithy and fun and interesting characters, and from my comedy, and also because I've always loved the Word of God. I love the Bible. Every single phrase in the Bible, you can read it a million times and you'll find some other beautiful nugget in it. So with my experience in reading the Word, your experience in television, we decided we were going to put these two entities together and tell people about the love of God in ways that they could truly understand. And every day, not so that it would be the robes and the sandals back in the biblical times, but what about today?
Yeah.
What is God going to do for me today? Because he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That never changes. Maybe the outfits do, maybe the languages do, but he never does. So that's how we came together and said, let's do something for the Lord that people can understand and relate to and connect with.
And one of the things that you pretty much see, anybody can see about television, is that there are a lot of copycats. That's the reason for that, is that network executives, and I used to be one, we like to win. We don't like to lose. And so we get scared of losing. And doing something new is always a little bit more chancy. And so, but it's always harder now that we're out of the executive business and in the producer field, where we're going and calling upon executives, most of whom are much younger than we are.
I have shoes older than them.
But as we sit down and we chat with these bright young people, it is always difficult to sell an idea that doesn't have a model. If you can't say, well, this is like All in the Family with such and such, or this is like, Happy Days with such and such. But when you strike out to do something that is totally different, that is always harder because there's not a model for that. We're going to be able to create the model of it. But guess what? The biggest shows, the biggest successes are those that formed a brave new path and created a brand new idea. And those shows are always very, very enduring through the years. And it just so happens that we love to do things that have never been done before. Now, there never was a 3-minute program called like Schoolhouse Rock in amongst the Saturday morning cartoons. And when I went to Good Morning America, what we did is that we created a family of characters, colorful characters surrounding David Hartman. And people love to watch people on television. And then that concept of carrying it off into the present time, I have been out there trying to do something that has the name of God in the title. Godwinks.
That's key. That's key.
Okay.
And you've done it. You've
Well,
done it.
we
You're
have-
known as
we
the
have-
Godwink
we have
guy.
done it.
And for someone, let me ask you, for someone who's never heard that term before,
Yeah.
now we could have those people right here. We certainly could. How do you explain what a Godwink is versus coincidence?
Well, a coincidence. I never looked up in the dictionary when I was searching for a word. When Louise and I were searching for a word that we thought was another version of coincidence, and this little word Godwink came into mind. But I never looked up coincidence in the dictionary because I thought I knew what it meant. Why would you go to the dictionary to look up a word you already know? Except because I avoided that. A couple of years went by, and when I finally looked it up, it said coincidence, two remarkable events coming together without apparent cause. And I thought, wait a minute, that isn't what we're talking about. Godwink, that's two remarkable events coming together with a cause, and that cause is divine. And so it was at that moment that we realized that this little word that we were using as a substitute for coincidence was actually filling a whole vacancy in the language that didn't have a word. And that was one of the reasons I believe that it has gone so quickly into the language, so quickly into the language of pastors and other people who want to be able to express those experiences that they have had, and they didn't know what to call them. So
That's
Godwink
it.
is now
And
out
it's in the
there.
dictionary.
Now it's out there. Yeah.
I mean, it's there for everyone. That's amazing because it takes a lot of effort to get in the dictionary. It does.
Yes, it does.
So that is so great. Now, I know your stories together, both of you, resonate with all kinds of audiences, especially sales groups, nonprofits, and retirement communities. Louise, why do you think this is?
People want hope. Doesn't matter what they're doing for a living. It's when they're in the quietness of their own home or even at work, they want hope. They want a handrail to hold on to. You know, we're all on this shaky staircase, let's face it, every day. And people don't like uncertainty. Godwinks give you certainty. It's you're talking to an unseen God, but he hears you. And these little coincidences, as some people call them, these Godwinks, it's like we're on a big GPS, God's positioning system. He takes us, you know, in the Bible, and it says that, in all your ways, acknowledge me and I shall direct your steps. That's in Proverbs. Well, when we acknowledge God, you're there. He starts giving us signposts along our path that are saying, okay, kid, you're going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Stay with me. I've got something for you here. Keep the faith. And Godwinks are faith builders. And what they do is they connect us with a God that knows us before we were in our mother's womb. That's how much he knows us. And so everybody, I don't care what job you have, what profession, what you think your future is, God is in it. He's always in it. He's the present, the past, and the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so powerful, so powerful. And I'm so glad that we chose even a verse of the year for our company. You know, a lot of people say, you're bringing God into your company. Oh, yes.
Yes.
You know, I thought that was, you know, a pretty right thing to do. And it's Proverbs 16:3. And just says, commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed.
There you go.
Pretty simple.
Simple.
You know?
It's right there. Yep.
Yeah. So I like to keep things simple. That's why we're simply remarkable here. And God makes it simple. Now, you both are on a new adventure, and I'm so excited about this. It even brought you, Louise, out of retirement.
It did.
You have created a performance and what you're sharing across the world called Godwinks and Giggles. Tell us, Squire, what's that all about, and how did you both create this?
Well,
and Louise, how did you come out of retirement?
then I would have to say, if I'm the Godwink guy, then you're going to think of me as telling the Godwink stories. So who does that leave for the giggles? Miss Giggles Louise. And so
Yes.
we just love working together. And honestly, for a good number of years, we did inspiration and comedy where I would tell Godwink stories and Louise would come out as various characters. And then she became my co-author. And 7 of the 13 books she has now co-authored with me. And we work hand in hand. And so I feel as though when we go out and do speaking engagements, that we should tell Godwink stories together. And she should tell some, I should tell some. But that her comedy is so extraordinary, that her ability to replicate over 100 different characters, famous characters. I never know who I'm waking up next to. It could be George Burns.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's right. It could be George Burns. You know, I lived to be 100. When I was a boy, the Dead Sea was only 6.
I wook up
You
this
can do it
morning next.
automatically. This is so amazing. I love it. And I can see being in your audiences. Let me just tell you, you get
Yeah.
the message, but you're laughing. And you know what
Yes.
they say when you laugh?
Yes,
You
You
learn.
retain the message more.
That's right.
you are so
That's
right.
that's a true fact. And I'm like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
we need more of that. We
Yeah.
need more of that.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's funny. After being on the road with the best of the best, Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, after Tim died, Harvey had already passed away, and they were such dear. There weren't just, you know, we weren't just performing on stage together. We loved each other. It was a family. So I was just devastated when Tim passed away. You know, that one just really got to me. And I said to Squire, you know, I'm hanging up my wigs and my costumes. I said, when you work with the best and now they're gone, I said, I can never top that. So I said, I think I'm going to retire. So he was not happy about it, but respectful. And then he got to me. He said, you know, my son's school, Brookwood, in Texas, they want us to do a benefit, and they'd really like you to do some of your voices in there, and you know, but it's up to you. I know you're retired, and I told him, gee, I don't know, and he said, but it's for my son, and you know, Squire has a son with special needs who is just precious, and he lives in a beautiful facility with all these special needs adults. And we would go and visit him. And when I'd see all these special needs adults, you know, they'd see me, they know me, and they know I would do voices for them. They'd say, oh, Louise, do Fran Drescher. I go, oh, I'm not going to do Fran Drescher. But I might do Joe Rivers for you. Can we talk here? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a little Cher. I don't know. So they would just crack up. And he said, Louise, you know how they love your impressions. Well, what could I say?
Yes.
So I had to say yes. So he dusted me off and threw me up on that stage. And I have to tell you, the joy I felt again really was just unbelievable. And then I felt the Lord was saying, you know something, if I gave you a talent, why are you going to hide it? Why don't you just
Yes.
let it get out there? And so that's what I did. And so now we
That
said,
was
okay.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Nobody could be
Wow, I
happier
love
than me.
it. I love it. And
Yeah.
what audience wouldn't want to have you, you know, to do this, because that's where it comes from. So
Mhm.
I can see why you came out of retirement. I can, definitely, because your talent is still there and we want to see it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Yeah.
thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that, because I know there are so many people that have retired that maybe they need to come out. So
That's
that's another gift you can say,
Yeah.
okay, maybe, just maybe, that
Yeah.
there's something still left there. So you never know. You
Well,
never
God's
know.
never finished with us. You know, God works through us. Doesn't matter until we take our last breath. God can use us. And you're so right. You know, and I think sometimes you look at these baby boomers
Mhm.
and they say, oh, well, I'm retired now. but they've got so much in them. And, we did a thing for the baby boomers one time, and we tried to tell them, and I think they got it, that you don't have to just be retired. You could be retired, but you could also be useful in other things. And I have to tell you, we have seen so many of our friends who've come out of retirement and done so many incredible things, sometimes better than what they did when they were younger.
We called the show Boom Overs.
Boom overs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not retiring. I've always
Well, we
said
love working. We love to perform for the, in the retirement community, some of them, because a lot of the impressions I do, and what's funny about the impressions I do, I think, well, they're older, they're more nostalgic, but kids now, because of the internet, they're looking at the old Carol Burnett shows or the old I Love Lucy shows. So they,
Yes.
or All in the Family, they know Edith Bunker, you know what I'm saying, Sue? Oh my.
exactly.
So they know all these people. So
Uh,
it's like the Gen Zers, they're saying Gen Zers want to go back to what their grandparents liked.
mhm,
And we find that to be so refreshing. They want traditional.
mhm.
They want to go back to when funny was funny. And it doesn't matter how old these shows are. You look at
Right.
Archie Bunker, or you look at Barney Fife and Andy Griffith. Funny is funny.
Those
Yeah.
were funny.
North Carolina, Andy Griffith. I mean, it's going to last forever.
Ever.
You know,
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
This is the
Right.
thing. This is the thing. Now, this is a question for both of you. After one of your audience experiences, because you bring an experience to your audiences just here or in a big crowd, and you love it, what do you hope that people will feel when they walk out of the room?
Well, because we are messengers of hope, we hope that we have delivered that message and that we've given them hopeful thoughts and stories to take with them. Godwinks do exist for everybody,
Yes, they do.
but not everybody has learned how to see them yet. And a lot of people say, oh, how do I get Godwinks? Well, the most important thing is to acknowledge that they are there. They are like gifts left on your doorstep. We're just asking you to open the door and open your gift. And the more that you see Godwinks, the more you see them. The more that you see Godwinks, the deeper your faith. They are faith builders. And when you have these communications that are coming to you, special delivery directly from God Almighty out of 8 billion people on the planet, you're getting a message for you. You really need to pay attention to that, because that says that you're special. You're special to him. So that's what we hope everybody feels when they leave any kind of a talk that we have, that they feel good, but they have a new word in their language. And that word is going to open them up to a new avenue for hope at every single turn in their lives.
It's so true. It is so true, because when I found you many years ago, before I ever knew you or ever thought that I would be honored enough to represent you at Remarkable Speakers Bureau, it changed my life. Even though I was faith-based, it opened up things that I would have never caught before. So again, and we hear those stories. And of course, on Facebook, you have a large group. Everybody, you can go on Facebook to Godwinks. And how many people do you have on there sharing stories now and listening to stories?
It's over 475,000. And then I haven't even updated that. So it's probably very close to 500,000 now.
See, got to get in on this, because it's out there for us. We don't need to be uninspired and hopeless. There is help.
That's right.
So one thing in closing. Now, you say, okay, yeah. What are y'all going to do today? There comes my South. Okay. What are y'all going to do today to be remarkable? And is there anything else you want to share with us that you can't?
Well, we have a few things we would love to share, but we can't.
We will have you back to share them. Okay.
Right. Well, we are working on a couple of projects that are so incredible. One we've been working on for 20 years.
Yeah.
We've been pushing that rock up a hill for 20 years and praying about it. God placed something in our heart that we should be doing. And about a year ago in our prayer time, we both came out of our prayer time saying, I think this is the time.
Yeah.
And so we called up a major network and we pitched this idea and they love it. And what we're doing now is we're putting together a sizzle reel. And we're bringing that to them in a couple of weeks. And we're hoping, please God, to get the order. And it is literally life-changing television.
Wow. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. Can't
I'll
wait.
give you a clue. The name of our nonprofit is Pray Together, Stay Together.
Okay, we've got
Okay.
that. We've got that. We will keep in touch and keep out there and keep looking. We're all we have that. So it's really amazing. It's really amazing that you have so much going on and you're so busy. But I want our audience out there. This are a dynamic duo, but you have dynamic things out there too. So let me ask our audience, let us know, what are you going to do today to be remarkable? Maybe you heard something right here that you've got to go pursue. And that's what we want to hear. I said, I have this vision, okay, that we're going to do something with this, of how do you be remarkable? This is, you tell us. And so just leave us a comment either here in the chat line or get in touch with me. We're all over the map. So thanks so much again, SQuire and Louise, for joining us today. I loved laughing. I loved being inspired. And we're all on a mission. And I thank you for accepting yours, no matter your age or stage, and stepping up. And I wish you much success the rest of the year. We'll be praying for that big news and
Right.
much success in helping people see the power of Godwinks in their lives and sharing your message of hope and inspiration through your books, films, and speaking appearances all over the world. And event planners that are out there, we always invite you to join us, please. Do you want speakers who can deliver remarkable results? These two can. And they've generated millions of viewer engagements across Hallmark Productions through their books, countless events. Their unique blend of humor, heart, and hope. This is what I love. Humor, heart, and hope creates the kind of buzz that event planners, you are looking for in your audience. You want that kind of event where people will remember and the one they recommend to others. So our information is on the screen here. Just contact us today. As you can see, these two are very busy. So we want to make sure that we can provide them to your event. So you make sure you get to us. And I hope I'll plan on coming back next Friday, August 1st. I can't believe July is gone. Where'd it go? I'm not sure, God, where it went. But, a lot happened. But I'm so excited because it begins my birthday month.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I love that.
Hallelujah.
We are going to have a special big surprise next Friday. Be looking for that big announcement. And that's all I'm going to say. I can't say anymore. Sometimes you can't share everything. But we just thank everyone here for joining us today. I love what I get to do every day when I wake up. And as my tagline says, let's be remarkable together. I love working with people. I love working with events to make sure you have everything you need. Now, I also have to remind you, I will keep doing this because this is the love of my heart, is remember to continue to pray and support those who are recovering from the devastating effects of the recent Texas and North Carolina floods, Hurricane Helene, and the California fires. Especially here in North Carolina, we were impacted It's going to be all of these people all over the country. It's a long-term recovery, and we can't forget them. We can't. Even though the news may have not been broadcasting anything, we can't forget them. And I've made a commitment that we won't, because they need us. And so that is where my heart is. And so whatever you can do to help these people, and it will continue on. And we have an office in California that very close to all the fires in our, so we're personally, we've got relatives in Western North Carolina. So we know personally how it has impacted their lives and ours too. So we're just not going to forget them. We're going to keep reminding you and keep praying and support them. Now, I wish everybody out there a happy summer weekend. It's going to be hot here. All right. We're in that heat storm season, but we want you to stay cool, and we will see you here next week. Again, thank you, SQuire and Louise. Amazing couple.
Thank you, Sue.
Sue.
You're welcome. This is so
Bye-bye.
fun. We will have you back soon.
Great.
Good wishes for Godwinks.
That's it. Find your Godwinks today.